Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In this channel, I will be mainly speaking about the basically abusive and toxic relationships, and which includes narcissistic relationships as well, which is, it's on a spectrum. The difference, I think, between my channel and the other narcissistic channel, because there's a lot of great other channels that talks about narcissism, which I personally have watched and I still watch all the time and I follow. But one of the differences I think my channel is gonna have is that I'll be discussing the relationship which might occur in maybe at work, if you're dealing, what happens when you're dealing with a narcissistic boss or a narcissistic group. I will definitely be addressing that. Also, when you're coming from a narcissistic family or extended family, because or narcissism, and also in relationships, which is kind of a popular topic these days. But I just wondered why people don't talk about narcissism and other type of relationships that are out there, like work situations, which is kind of a big deal, I believe, because if you're spending 8 hours to 9 hours of your day, at work, it kind of does matter what type of an environment you're spending your time and who you're working with and you're dealing with. So in my channel, I'll be addressing pretty much all of that, and the stuff that I talk about kind of applies to all sorts of situations, all kinds of relationships. It's not just for romantic relationships. And just a disclaimer that the stuff that I'm talking about is not for any type of a diagnostic. I'm not a psychologist yet. I'm not a licensed psychologist, but I'm a life coach, and I do speak about the stuff that I have learned along the way, and also my own personal experience, and the amazing and great therapists and life coaches that I had the pleasure and blessing to work with, and I learn a lot from them, and the research and education that I kind of received along my own path. The things that I will be sharing with you comes from there. But I think personal experience really does help. It does make a difference once you've kind of been through it and you experienced it, and find a way to try to resolve the situation and do something about it, and navigate through the situation. So I'll be sharing my own perspectives and feedback that the stuff that I learned along the way. I hope that it will be helpful and useful for you guys. So if you found this information useful, please don't forget to subscribe and like my video, and subscribe to my channel. Really appreciate it. So and also I will be recording these videos in Farsi as well as English. Farsi is my own language, my own native language. I'll be recording them in both languages, and I'll be uploading these videos so weekly. And it's definitely my passion and my, what should I say, mission and crusade to bring awareness about narcissism and abusive, toxic, anti-personality disorder type of relationships, and especially for individuals, that kind, loving, caring empaths out there, that you have the light of the world around in you, and you're trying to do the best you can in this world and be of service and help and support to everyone around you, and you don't want to harm anybody. As a matter of fact, you want to help everybody you can along the way. And so, but again, you need to be aware and be very much aware of this type of personalities that are out there. Again, being nice and being kind-hearted is great, but it's not enough to be able to survive these type of relationship in this world. And I feel like knowledge is power, and if people are equipped to the knowledge of how to be able to recognize such personalities and be able to understand how to, first thing, avoid them as much as possible, avoid having any type of relationships as much as possible as you can, or if you get in such a situation that you might have to deal with them for a while, you'll be able to find a way, a very effective and a healthy way, to be able to maneuver your way, your life and the way you do life around these people, and have the techniques and the tools to be able to live your life and keep your peace. And also peace is very important. You got to have your peace. You got to protect your peace and live your life in peace, and protect yourself from these type of personalities. So okay, and so I would like to so again, a reminder, my videos are going to be in English and Farsi, both languages. And so if you know somebody that could maybe benefit from my videos, please share them with them and let them know that you can let them know about my channel. Really greatly appreciate it. Okay, so I wanted to speak about basically narcissism a little bit, and kind of this type of a personality. Now, narcissism, as you know, it's kind of a spectrum. We all have a little bit of narcissistic maybe qualities in each one of us, and sometimes this kind of a quality and a pride is, as long as it's on a healthy side, and it's pride is necessary. You got to have some confidence and pride, but everyone is going to have some qualities of what you say, narcissistic qualities in them, to just because, maybe, but in a healthy way. Like they believe in themselves, they feel good about who they are, and but still that doesn't mean that you have a narcissistic disorder. Narcissistic disorder is something else. It's like if you have a bunch of characteristics, and if you meet and check most of these characteristics, then that would be diagnosed as a person who has the narcissistic disorder. Okay, that's different. But narcissism is basically on a spectrum from the low to a very high. And the type of as you all know, we have different types of narcissism. There's the classic narcissist, the grandiose narcissist, who will, speak. You see them, because of their grandiose gestures and the way they talk about themselves, and always want to let everybody know how great they are and how great their achievements are. The grandiose narcissist, the classic narcissist. There's another type called covert narcissist, which covert, it comes from a hidden. It's done in a very hidden way, which are covert narcissists. Narcissists are kind of dangerous. They're kind of a dangerous type of narcissist if you ever deal with them. Another kind is malignant narcissist, which also is kind of going towards covert narcissism and malignant narcissism. These type of individuals are very dangerous, and they're kind of the type that they will lie, deceive, or do anything in order to get their ways. So they're kind of a dangerous type of a people and personalities when you get to deal with them. And then you have the sociopath and the psychopath after that, which, as you know, there could be the serial killers and really people who don't have any morals. And then there's also another type that is called Camille, sorry for the pronunciation, communal narcissist, which like like they change colors, you know, according to whatever is to their benefit. That type of a narcissist. Like this type of a personality, you can see if they sometimes, if there is like they tend to brag about themselves and kind of try to if they're, for example, if they're helping the charity or they're doing something good, they'll always be bragging about themselves and telling people how great they are and how much they've given money to this charity or that charity or this organization, or maybe there's a school night, how they brought the cake and how everybody liked it. They're going to be bragging about what they've done. But anyway, so that's communal narcissist. That's another type of narcissist. That might not be as dangerous, but still, it's something to be watching out for. But anyway, it's not as dangerous as a covert narcissist or a malignant narcissist, which mainly I'm going to be talking about in this video and in my channels. So I wanted to basically go over probably 9 of the characteristics that a covert type of a narcissist will have, or you know, you can judge for yourself, or any type of a toxic, abusive individual which you might come across might have. Okay, so the number 1 is, I'm sure maybe you've already heard about this term. It's called gaslighting. And basically gaslighting is when someone is trying to get you to doubt your own reality about something. Like you have an idea about something, and an event or an incident or something, and the way it is and how it happened, and it's really valid for you because of the way you think and you reason. But when someone comes to you, or somebody who you're in a relationship with, it could even happen in a very subtle way, passive aggressive way. They basically make a comment to you that it's just suggests that they get you to doubt your own reality. You know, that, are you sure that's right? It could be as simple as the comment of, are you sure? I thought it was something else. Are you sure? I don't know. You know, just any comment or any type of a statement that even in a very subtle way, that they will say, that it will make the person, which is you in this case, let's say, you will doubt your own reality and you'll question it. Was I right or wasn't I? Did this really happen or it didn't? So gaslighting is one of the very common characteristics and things that you will come across when you're dealing with this type of personality. Number 2 is future faking. Promises that I'll do this or we'll do that in the future. Oh, you'll come on board and we're going to do this and that and this project and that project. You're going to be working with me and this is going to happen and we'll put you on. All kinds of basically promises that they'll say they're going to do in the future, but it's just an empty promise and it won't necessarily happen. So future faking is number 2. This could happen in a relationship, romantic relationship, which the guy might promise you, oh, we're going to get married and we're going to have a great family. We're going to buy a house and a big home and we'll have kids and blah, 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 and all kinds of good stuff that every woman loves to hear. Or in case of maybe a job, oh, you just come on board and we'll do this. And if you do well, we're going to do that and we'll give you this bonus and this will happen. And eventually you're going to become, you know, full-time, and all kinds of promises, but they'll give it to you just to pull you in, you know, and just get you to go with whatever they're saying. So future faking is number 2. Number 3, whenever something comes up that you want to bring it up, let's say even you have a justifiable, you have the evidence and you have witnesses, you have full evidence of what actually took place and occurred. you go to them, to this person with this type of personality, and they seem to be listening, but then when you're talking, when you're done conversing, they're gonna be like, they will start instead of trying to understand your point of view, they'll get into this justification mode and start justifying how what you think it might not be true necessarily, and it, you know, they justify it. Could be themselves, or it could be even somebody that their buddy, or there's somebody that there's one of their friends, or somebody that they care about. They'll go into this justification and denial mode that no, there's no such thing that you think, and this didn't happen, or it's probably this, or probably this person was saying that, or probably this happened, and probably that. All kinds of assumptions start coming up, and they're completely denial of the fact that you thought your idea of that this is what I think this is. They go to in denial, they go into justification mode, and sort of push it under the rug, so to speak, we could say. And then they usually project it back at you, the person, and say, you know what? It's your perception. Maybe your perception is wrong. Why did you think of it that way? And why do you think of it that way? It's probably that. Or you know what? I can do that for you, and I can go and talk to that person, but it's not going to look good for you. I'm saying, I just want you to know that. So they start projecting the whole thing at you instead of trying to have understanding and seeing things from your perspective, which could be completely valid still. They go into justification, they'll deny the whole thing, justify it, and project it back at you, and make you question your own reality and your perception, and it's you, and it's your perception, it's the way you view things, and why do you view things, all that stuff. And basically it's going towards, you know, giving you a guilty feeling and guilt tripping you to the fact that, yeah, it's you, and you're the one who's thinking that way. You're the one who's looking at it from that angle. You shouldn't do that. You know, it's not good for you to think like that. Why are you so negative? Or why are you sensitive? Or all kinds of stuff like that. So guilt tripping. So number 5 is actually guilt tripping you, and actually making you feel that and sometimes, you know, guilt tripping is, yeah, making you feel guilty for even questioning it, and it's you and your perception, which is part of gaslighting in a way. But and sometimes it will make you feel like you feel sorry for even bringing up the situation and bringing up the topic to talk to them, and eventually you're the one who end up apologizing from them for even talking about that subject. So guilt tripping. And they sometimes becomes so dramatic, and start crying and stop being upset, and making you feel, and puts you in an awkward situation that you end up apologizing and backing off from the whole situation, saying, I'm sorry I even brought it up. Or, you know, everybody, they're different there are different reactions towards this. Some people might get upset, some people might get start crying, but anyway, they give you a guilty feeling that you end up backing off and say, I'm sorry. And that's exactly, I think, that we're looking for you to back up a little bit and give in and just kind of go away and forget about the whole topic. So guilt tripping is number 5. Number 6, another way that narcissists and covert narcissists, especially because they have this passive aggressive way about them, that they do things and they do things in a very subtle way, in such a subtle way that sometimes if you only look at one item and one thing that they do, it might not look at it as a big deal, or if you tell somebody about it or say, okay, so that doesn't seem like a big deal. But it's like, the thing about covert narcissism, it's such a hidden way that first of all, it's like they call it death by thousand cuts, like a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit over there, a little bit yesterday, a little bit month before, all these little things that happen over time, and that they're all chipping off at you. They're making you upset in a little way here, a little bit there, a little way over here. It's death by 1,000 cuts, which becomes very annoying, and it starts chipping off on your confidence. So it is a serious deal, and it does become serious after a while, like a couple months, not couple months, you just wake up like 5-6 months into this relationship and you wonder, how come I'm feeling incompetent, or what happened to my confidence that I used to have when I first entered into this relationship? Like, if you remember and recall the time and days before you met this person, or got into this job, or met this friend, or came across these amount of people, or get into this romantic relationship, that I remember I had good confidence in myself. I remember I felt good about myself. So what happened? It's all these little things that this individual, these small little things that had sit here and there, and it all had accumulated and got to a point that now you feel different, and it's hurting you, not them. So it'll affect your confidence and the way you feel about yourself. And sometimes, because it's done in such a hidden way, it will seriously make you doubt that, is it me? Or is it this person? And sometimes, well, most of the time, these type of people, guys, have a way of painting a picture. It's kind of called covert narcissism, and it's very sneaky, because they have a way of painting a good picture outside in front of other people, and so they look good in the public outside, but behind closed doors, in private, they will treat you that way and put you down in so much subtle ways. And it's not, they will create oftentimes a very beautiful picture of themselves in the public, so people love them and they think they're the greatest person. But when it comes to you, this is where those little things come up, and behind closed doors, in private, people don't know how you're being treated. So don't be surprised if that's the case. So, and it's not going to be easy to convince other people that this person, it is what they are towards you and in private, because they don't see that side of them outside, elsewhere. It's like it's like when you're walking on the shore of an ocean, you might not get the effect and the sting that if you go inside the ocean and start swimming a little bit in there. That's where certain animals or maybe species will come up and maybe sting you. They're not going to sting you. It might not even see them when you're on the shoreline. If you are only on a relationship on a surface level with somebody, you won't be able to tell or see or feel what it's like. Well, versus if you're in a relationship with somebody and you're really getting to know them, it's different. It will be very different. It's a totally different effect. So I'm just giving examples. Hopefully, it will make sense. Okay. Again, number 6, I wanted to say, okay, ignorance and neglect. If guys, ignorance and neglect is a way of abuse. Okay, if you feel like you're being ignored, they ignore you, they give you silent treatment, which is actually another one. Silent treatment, ignoring you, being quiet, not talking to you, is it's a form of a neglect. And or if somebody just they just want to neglect you and they don't care about you, and it's like it doesn't even matter to them how you feel, and the way they treat you, how it makes you feel. Silent treatment is definitely another thing. This is basically ignoring you and not talking to you for hours or days. Sometimes it might go longer, but neglect is a form of abuse as well. Not caring, pretending that what you feel and how you think, how you feel, and it doesn't matter. That's also another form of abuse, which kind of goes into another one, ghosting. When somebody does ghost you, is also, narcissist does do ghosting as well, so be aware. If somebody just disappears on you without any explanation, and just goes away, disappears without even a phone call, a talk, a text to say what happened, it's a very immature and a coward way of going about things. And narcissists do that type of a thing, and it's not nice. It's very painful for the person on the other side receiving it. So ghosting is another one. If somebody ghosted you, they're very immature emotionally, and there definitely could be on a narcissist spectrum somewhere. Okay, another one is if you feel that this person is disrespecting you in any way, shape, or form. It could be with words, verbal, or it could be nonverbal. Communication, I think I was reading somewhere, I kind of researched it online. It was saying like 93% of the communication altogether is nonverbal. Like 7% is verbal in what you say, and the other percentage, 93%, is nonverbal. It could be the tone of voice and how you say what you say. It's not the word, it's how you say it, the tone of voice. It's the gestures, the body language, the vibes, the energy, the eye contact, the way somebody looks at you, how they walk, their body language, how they're standing, everything matters, you know. So if anybody, either in private or in front of other people, especially in front of other people, if they make gestures and make looks at you that makes you feel disrespected in any way, or you wonder what's that all about, like what did I do? Disrespect, and verbal or nonverbal. And oftentimes these covert narcissists, passive aggressive people, they won't directly come and tell you they don't like you and they don't want you in their team, or they don't want to deal with you, or they don't want to be in a relationship with, but they would like say and do things that if they look at their actions and their behavior, they might have been telling you 10 times already, 20 times that they don't like you. But don't listen to what they say. Watch their actions and their behavior and how they're treating you and how they're making you feel, because that speaks volumes. It doesn't matter one person what they say and they claim, because anybody can say it. What matters is what they do and how they treat you and how they make you feel, in private or in front of other people. So disrespect in any shape or form, it could be direct or indirect, body language, anyway, tone of voice, gesture, anything, be sensitive to that. It means you're probably dealing with a narcissist. And the thing with that is that you need to look out for is that when you confront and go talk to the person about something like this, that they will deny it. Even you go and say, you said this to me, and they say, nope, I didn't say it, that's not true, that's not what you think. But if everybody says something like that to you, you already see in their behavior and action what they're displaying. And when you go talk to them about it, they completely deny the whole thing. Hey, that is not true what you're saying. This is what and this is what it is, and this is how I feel about you. We'll ask them this. How come? They claim it, they say it, and they say their intention is that way, but how come their actions and their behaviors don't line up with their intentions? A person who's healthy, a person who's healthy and is a healthy individual, you would consider them a healthy individual, which you want to be in a relationship with, any type of relationship. A healthy person, usually their intentions and their words line up with what they do and their actions. Your intentions and your words have to line up with your actions and the way you treat people, and they need to feel that, okay? That's a sign of healthy. Narcissists and unhealthy, toxic people, antisocial people, they claim something, but their action says a completely different thing. And that's what's confusing about it, and gets people confused and make it harder to detect these type of personalities, because people tend to listen to people and what they say instead of looking at their actions and sensing that instinct that we all have, especially women. We need to pay attention to that. Your instinct, your gut feeling is there for a reason. And it's like, it's something that is not tangible, but it's there. It's like poisonous gas that is in the air and it's making you sick, but you can't see it because it doesn't have a color, but it's there and it's coming into the room, let's say from a pipe or from some area. But it's poisonous gas and it's poisoning your body and it's making you feel drowsy or sick, but you can't see it, but that doesn't mean it's not there. People who claim things but then they do something else, the intention doesn't lie, the energy doesn't lie, the vibes don't lie. You know, don't wait until somebody tells you something. You can read, you can read the energy. You can pay attention to your instincts, to your gut feeling, to the energy you see, to the things you observe. We all have that instinct, and we need to learn to listen to it and pay attention to it. So disrespect is another sign. Another thing that narcissists do is avoid acknowledgement of something or giving you credit for something that you've done. If you, by any chance, you've done something, you work hard, and you find yourself in a situation that the person you're dealing with, it could be at work, it could be from your boss, it could be a colleague, it could be a relationship, a romantic relationship partner, it could be a friend, anything. If you work so hard, let's say, you know you did a good job, and then this person wouldn't even say thank you or wouldn't even want to, it's like you can tell they're working so hard to try to avoid acknowledging you for what has happened and what you've done, even though you do know you deserve it, and you feel good about yourself and what you've done, but they just can't give you that acknowledgement, that give you the credit that, hey, you know, good job, or I agree with you on this and you're right. Just can't. They just want to avoid giving you any type of an acknowledgement for the good work that you've done, or agreeing with you in some way that, you know, you have a good point. So avoid giving acknowledgements. And the other one I mentioned here, I said he's number 9. If you find yourself in a relationship that you feel like you're being strung along, basically. They kind of keep stringing you along, and they kind of keep changing the goal and the aim that you're headed for. Before, they used to say, okay, if we get to this many months, then we'll start talking about where we're going, like let's say in a relationship. But then 3 months comes, and now when you talk to that partner of yours, like in a romantic relationship, he said, oh yeah, well, we still need to, it hasn't been 6 months yet. Let's talk about this after 6 months and see where we're headed. It's too early, you know. It's okay to talk about everything after 6 months, but I'm just saying, if somebody keeps changing the goal, you first had it at a certain date, then they changed it, they delay it, they keep postponing the goals and the stuff that you're headed for. Let's say for a work situation, first they said they'll hire you and they're gonna promote you after 6 months if you work hard. You work very hard the first 6 months. Now you wondered if the promotion is gonna come. Again, nothing. They say, well, wait a little longer. Maybe it will come after 9 months, after maybe a year. You wait a year, nothing still. What's going on? Okay, you wait another 6 months. It's been a year and a half, and you're still waiting for that promotion to come, where it's been given to you, the promise was given to you after 6 months. So if you find yourself in a situation that the goal is constantly being changed and moved, you could be dealing with people and they gave you some lame explanation that why the reason is, and the explanation really doesn't make any sense to you. Watch out for those things. And finally, I want to give one more number 10 item, is that these type of personalities, when maybe I've already mentioned it and some of these items that I listed, but these type of people, when you go and confront them with a situation and say, let's sit down and talk about it, you know, is anything going on, is everything okay, I was just wondering what's going on, you want to talk, you want to find out and resolve the situation if there is anything. You will find that they will pretend to say, no, everything's fine, nothing's going on, everything's okay. No, just say we're just busy, you know, it's no big deal. It's really nothing. You know it's something, and the signs are all there. Even other people can notice it, but they will tell you, again, talking words don't mean much. When the action and treatment is something else, they'll be like, oh, you know, nothing. There's really nothing going on. It's perfect. Everything's fine, you know, just a busy, you know. And they kind of make you feel as if, again, you doubt yourself, and it's like, but I know something is not the same. I mean, something's off. But again, they don't want to admit it, and they're completely deny the whole thing and make you feel like, you know, nothing's going on. So watch out for that. If you ever come across someone that you can easily and clearly see signs that things are not as usual and the same and something's off, and you go and you talk to them, and even though you're talking to them and taking the time to go speak with the person individually, and they still in private, they deny the whole thing, just understand that you could possibly be dealing with one type of a kind of a strange covert narcissistic situation, and this individual is not being transparent to you. But again, I think so in all these situations when you're dealing, I think the most important thing is for you to first realize, excuse me, I gotta sneeze a little bit. I think the most important thing in this type of a situation is that for you to, the person to realize that, you know, I'm not crazy. It's not me. I've been watching and seeing and observing these signs and things that have been happening around me. And but once I go and talk to the person, there could be maybe more than a person, a group of people in some situations, or in a family sometimes. It could be the narcissist, or the abusive covert narcissist person, and then there could be people who are enablers around them, you know, people who are kind of helping and enabling the person. Could be called enablers and flying monkeys, as you might know, heard the term. And anyway, it could be one person, or maybe more than one person, and the enabler of the narcissist, the protectors, the people who have the narcissist back, you know, because obviously, well, they've already figured that, you know, if they back up the narcissist, they have each other's back. So, you know, they create loyalty with each other, and you know, the narc takes care of the other person. Maybe they're in a high level, maybe they're in maybe a little bit of an authority position, and they create enablers for themselves, and they give them maybe money, or they take care of them at work, or maybe they give them all kinds of stuff. But the narc and their enablers, anyway, and they're flying monkeys. So if the first step, I think, when you find yourself into this type of a situation, is for you to realize that, first of all, you're not crazy, and it's not you. You are a capable human being who understands and sees and can tell right from wrong, and it's not you. Because remember, there are two types of people in this world. There are the good people